Exactly 6 p.m. here in Cairo, dear viewers. It's time for Channel 2 News Bulletin, and we start off with the headlines. I'll be right back. President Althanya al-Sisi attends the graduation ceremony of the first class of the Armed Forces Medicine College. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli meets top U.S. officials during his current visit to Washington. And Egypt expresses deep concern over the ongoing Turkish aggression on Syria. Welcome back. Addressing the graduation ceremony of the first class of the Armed Forces Medicine College, President Althanya al-Sisi said that the creation of the college, launched 6 years ago, has been a dream that came into reality. President al-Sisi noted that he has been following the progress of the work at the college, adding that the success only comes through hard work. The president ruled out compliments while picking college students, deeming compliment as a form of corruption. He further stressed that success is not easy and cannot be realized by compliment. In line with the country's strategy to merchandise educational testing, President al-Sisi said that this system has been ratified and applied in the college, to be followed within 2 years by other medicine colleges nationwide. The head of state highlighted that Egypt is strongly and actively moving towards science and knowledge, and to that end, he called on the students to spend their excellence year and bachelor study period inside the college campus. In the course of the ceremony, President al-Sisi watched a documentary showing the ancient Egyptians, as well known as the armed forces' keen interest in graduating excellent qualified doctors in different areas of specialty. This class included 200 graduates and was named after Field Marshal Mohammed Abdel Ghani al-Gamasi, a prominent military figure of the 6th of October War heroes.
المرحلة القادمة من مسيرة العمل الوطني تفرض علينا وضع الإنسان المصري في مقدمة أولويات الدولة من خلال إطلاق استراتيجية شاملة لإصلاح وتطوير منظومة التعليم تتوازى مع البدء في تطبيق منظومة التأمين الصحي المتكامل.
الفترة دي هي بصراحة خطوة كويسة جدا.
كلام ولا في الأحلام.
الناس مش مصدقة نفسها.
تضافركم معانا هينجح، سواء كان في التعليم أو في الصحة، والكلام ده للمفكرين والمثقفين والإعلاميين بالإضافة للمجتمع.
أي حد عنده قوائم انتظار يتصل بالرقم الساخن وربنا هيكرمه إن شاء الله.
خدمة قوائم الانتظار مع حضرتك.
لن ينجح أي نظام في الدولة المصرية، تأمين صحي، تعليم، استثمار، تنمية، إلا بالاستقرار والأمن.
صراحة حاسس بالشعب، لا في تغيير في البلد.
مس قلوب المصريين كلهم.
ادوا دفعة للنجاح وشجعوا وحطوا ايديكم معانا في ان احنا المنظومه تنجح. انا لو تخيرني بين ان انا اكل ولا اعالج دول، لا اعالج دول.
During his current visit to Washington, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli met Chief of U.S. Exports and Imports Bank Kimberly Reid, where he hailed the important role of the bank in enhancing economic and trade ties between Egypt and the United States. Prime Minister added that he is looking forward to a visit by a bank delegation next month to Egypt for probing aspects of cooperation in water desalination, electronic leakage fields, in addition to supporting the private sector's role in the country's economic development. Reid, meanwhile, expressed desire to cooperate with Egypt in boosting investment opportunities for the United States businesses at the national market. The two sides also proposed the creation of a business group composed of representatives of the ministries concerned in coordination with the Egyptian embassy in Washington to brief U.S. companies on the investment opportunities available in Egypt. Separately, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli met Chief of U.S. Oil Corporation John Christian Mann and hailed the company's cooperation with Egypt, hoping for increased investments by Apache in the national market. The top U.S. businessman, meanwhile, said his company has a promising future outlook for the Egyptian oil sector and is looking to contribute to its development, adding that Apache plans to increase its activities in Egypt with the use of the most up-to-date technological methods in oil drilling and exploration. During a meeting with the Deputy Chief of the U.S. Corporation, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli reviewed today aspects of cooperation between Egypt Air and the company in light of Egypt's planned development of the flight services, with the joining of the latest Dreamliner Virgin to the national carrier. The meeting touched on the possibility of launching cooperation between Boeing and the Ministry of Communication in the field of information technology. The Boeing official deemed Egypt as being a promising market for investment. As he met a number of senior U.S. lawmakers, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed the importance of the strategic ties and partnership binding Egypt and the United States. The U.S. officials voiced appreciation for the prompted level of cooperation with Egypt and called on the Prime Minister to clarify Egypt's assessment to the latest developments in Syria, currently under Turkish military assault. To that end, Madbouli asserted Egypt's condemnation of the Turkish aggression, warned of the serious repercussions of such an assault, and urged the United States to seek for an immediate halt to the ongoing bloodshed on Syrian soil. The Prime Minister further noted that the Turkish assault threatens not only Syrian unity and sovereignty, but also regional security and stability. On the Renaissance Dam, Premier Madbouli elaborated the bases governing Egypt's stance on the issue and its flexibility while negotiating a deal that protects the water interests of all parties. He highlighted that River Nile waters is the lifeline for Egyptians, and the country's political leadership and people will not accept any prejudice to their water rights. During his visit to Lithuania capital, Riga, Foreign Minister Semih Yusri reviewed with his Latvian counterpart means to enhance bilateral ties as well as recent developments in the Middle East and North Africa. The two top diplomats also signed an agreement on mutual exemption of visa for diplomatic passports for holders. Foreign Minister Semih Shukri held talks with President of Latvia and discussed bilateral ties and means to promote them in various fields. During his visit to Latvia, Foreign Minister Semih Shukri reviewed with Latvian Parliament Speaker and expressed keenness to activate ties in various fields over the upcoming period. Both sides described the two countries' ties as different and strong, stressing the importance of activating economic ties, with the Latvian Parliament Speaker hailing economic reforms adopted by Egypt. They also agreed on the importance to activate cooperation in the field of education. The Parliament expressed support to the Egyptian stance towards achieving security and stability in the Middle East region. Egypt announced that it follows up with deep concern the ongoing Turkish aggression on the Syrian lands that has claimed hundreds of lives and displaced hundreds of thousands. Egypt said that Turkish aggression on Syria is a clear violation to the international law and undermines any attempt to reach a political settlement to the crisis in the country. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry welcomed the European Union condemnation of the Turkish assault on Syria and also welcomed US President Donald Trump's rejection of the ongoing Turkish aggression on Syria and its decision to impose sanctions on the Turkish regime to press on Ankara to immediately halt this operation. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence arrived in Turkey today on a mission to persuade Ankara to halt its offensive against Kurdish fighters in northeast Syria, but Turkish officials said the action would continue regardless. The week-long assault has created a new humanitarian crisis in Syria, with 160,000 civilians taking flight, a security alert over thousands of Daesh terrorists abandoned in Kurdish jails, and a political storm at home for Trump. France's top diplomat held talks in Baghdad today about transferring foreign terrorists from northern Syria, where a Turkish offensive has triggered fears of mass jailbreaks to be tried in Iraq. The issue was top of the agenda for French Foreign Minister in his talks with his Iraqi counterparts and President Burham Saleh and Prime Minister Adel Abdel Mahdi. Meanwhile, Damascus said Syrians are unified against a cross-border Turkish assault in its first statement since deploying troops in Kurdish-controlled areas to contain Ankara's offensive. The Foreign Ministry statement accused Ankara of causing death and destruction in an offensive that revealed Ankara's expansion aims. Chancellor Angela Merkel said today that Germany would not deliver any weapons to Turkey under current circumstances and added that she had urged Turkey several times to end its military operation in northern Syria. US President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw U.S. forces before a Turkish offensive into northern Syria last week has shattered the relative calm there, and he has been accused of abandoning Kurdish militia who helped the United States fight Daesh terrorists in the region. Britain and the European Union reached a new divorce deal today that could allow Brexit on October the 31st, but faced immediate opposition among MPs in London who could still block it. The deal was sealed just hours before a summit of EU leaders that is expected to endorse the text, but it must pass the British Parliament when it meets on Saturday. The deal is a victory for the country's Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who took office in July promising to end Britain's membership out of the European bloc in line with the result of a 2016 referendum. Welcome back, dear viewers. It's time for the economic segment, where we bring you the latest in the economic and world of finance. And we start off with the World Bank top officials who hailed economic reforms adopted by the government to improve the investment atmosphere in the country. On the sidelines of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank annual meetings in Washington, officials said that such reforms contributed in attracting foreign investments into Egypt. They added that such measures also adopted in increasing the private sector investments, raising the economic growth rate, and revive the country's economy as a whole. Egypt's stock market indices mostly rose during today's dealings. The weekend sessions, boosted by purchasing operations by local and Arab corporations, as well as foreign investors. The benchmark EGX 30 added 0.1% to end the dealings at 14,211 points, and the capped EGX 30 index was also up 0.4%. The medium capped index EGX 70 and the more expanded EGX 100 index edged higher 0.7 and 0.5% respectively. Well, dear viewers, with this final note, we wrap up this edition of Channel 2 News. Today's director was Ahmed Muawad, and our editor-in-chief, May Ahmed Eddin. Thank you so much. I myself, Rana Al-Qassas, thank you so much for joining.